you catching the hell from Esau, man. All right, who was the so-called white man. Which we gonna read some of his crimes, man. Because just like in the court of law, like the Lord, you know, the Lord is setting Esau up tremendously, man. He's setting him up tremendously for a tremendous fall, man. Okay? He's setting him up for a hell of a fall, man. And when Esau falls, it's no way he's going to try to weasel out the things that he's done, man. You know, like you had the FBI and all that. When they build the case on somebody, it takes years and years and years, man. So look at the track record of Esau, man. Over 500 years of slavery, man. Rape, robbing, and murdering people, man. Taking over people's lands and all that. Which they still continue to do to this day. You know? That's a hell of a track record for you so-called white people, man. Edomites, according to the Bible, man. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 19, verse 14. It says, "Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that Yahweh Bashim outside thy power giveth thee to possess it." So yeah, what did Esau do, man? He removed our landmarks, man. Our father, our ancestors' landmarks, man. All right? Prime example, when he came over here to America. What did he do, man? He removed all of the so-called Native Americans' landmarks, man. You know? And then had the nerve to try to name different streets and towns and all that after them, man. You know? To let you know who was here first. That we were here first, the Israelites. The so-called Native American tribes, you know, Simeon, Gad, and Manasseh were here, you know, and Issachar. But they sat here and raped and robbed and murdered these people. They still removing landmarks now. And guess what? They start calling the land after their name too, to make it seem like it really belongs to them. You know? That's a charge right there, man. You know? That's a charge right there to the so-called white man. All right? This is Jeremiah 22 and 13. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 22, verse 13. It says, "Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that uses his neighbor's service without wages, and giveth him not for his work." So damn, that's another charge that's charged to you so-called white people. You Edomites, man. It says destruction to you. Because what they do when they brought us over here. When they brought you Negroes over here, they brought you over here in slavery for one. You were not paid to do the work. All right? You were put in a hardcore slavery and not paid. All right? This is Jeremiah chapter 22 and 13 again. It says, "Woe to him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness." So how did Esau build his house, man? How did Esau build America, man? Unrighteously, man. And all the other, well, this is his kingdom right now. But America is the main spot. And how did he build America? Unrighteously, man. He built America unrighteously on the backs of the slaves, man. It says woe means destruction. So it's saying destruction of Esau. That's why we say death to the so-called white man, man. All right? Death to you so-called crackers, man. And that's what's coming, man. And you other fucking nation. It says, woe to him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that uses his neighbor's service without wage. So that's what they did in slavery. They used your service without wage. Wage is paying you, man. All right? That's another charge. That's another charge to the so-called white man. And they still do those things now, man. Slavery never stopped. It's just not it's just not brought to the light anymore, man. You niggas are still in slavery, man. It says it giveth him not, and giveth his not for his work. Verse 14 says that saith, I will build me a wide house and large chambers, and cutteth him out windows, and it is sealed with cedar and painted with vermilion. So he want a very lavish house, man. You know, the so-called white man wants it all, man. All right, but guess what? The Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, is about to take it all from me, man. How long is the Most High going to allow these heathen, who he ever reputed as nothing, man? How long is he going to allow them to be on top? He ain't that much longer. He's just stacking charges against him, man. Why? So he could destroy him that much more, man. So he could destroy him that much more. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 8. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 8. It says, woe to them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. All right, so it says, woe to them that join house to house. So you can look at that a lot of different ways, man. You know, you can look at the way they built the Philadelphia homes, man. They're a bunch of row homes, man. So it say destruction to you that build house to house, man. You ain't supposed to have people living on top of people. All right? You're supposed to have your own land, man. So they try to cramp everybody together so they can get more money off of that, man. That's the reason why they do what they do, man. It says, woe to them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place. So if you keep building things like that, you ain't gonna have nowhere to relax, man. You look at New York City, how congested that is, man. You got people on top of people on top of people, man. But then you have, then you go out there and like Lancaster, PA, then you got field after field after field, man. You know? And they talk about that it's too many people on the earth is overpopulated, man.
I still don't understand how you get mad at somebody.
That's because they destroying the earth, man. You know? Yo, I cannot wait till the winter comes. Then you got jackasses riding around fucking Batman cars. You know what? And that right there, that's pride, man. All right? That's pride. That's a lofty look, man. What I was talking about earlier. That's a lofty look. They want to be seen. Well, guess what? Yahweh Bashim Yahushua sees you, man. And he's not pleased with you. It's going to come a time when them niggas going to be eating the rubber off them tires, man. You know? It says, woe to them that join house to house, that they lay field to field, till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. And mine ears said to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua of hosts, of a truth, many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair without inhabitant. Inhabitant, man. So those things are coming, man. Alright? A lot of these houses that they building up now is about to be desolate. They ain't even going to be inhabited. Why? Because you have an economic collapse coming to this place, man. Real soon. Sooner than you think, man. An economic collapse is coming to America, man. Well, you ain't going to be able to run into a bank and withdraw money. Well, that dollar bill is going to be so depreciated, it's going to take a whole wheelbarrow full of dollar bills to buy a freaking loaf of bread, man. Keep thinking the Lord is sweet, man.
Yo, Alex, where are we going?
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and 12. It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity, man. So how is America built, man? Ask yourself that. That's another charge stacked to the so-called white man. All right, it says, woe, we'll read it again, man. This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and 12. It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establisheth a city by iniquity, man. So you built the town with blood, man. So all of America was built how, man? On the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. All right? With the blood, sweat, and tears of the slaves, man, which got murdered in the process, which were put to death for false reasons, man. All right. So guess what? That's why this place is going to be this place is going to be destroyed,
I don't
man.
really like being in a hot ass sweaty place.
Because they built America up on the backs of the slaves, man. And you talk about slavery now, they don't want to hear about that. They tell you it was the past, it wasn't them. So why does the book say, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of his fathers, man? Because you are who your fathers are, man. And guess what? The Lord, he's brewing something for you so-called white people. The same way he prepared a place for us, he's preparing to destroy y'all and take y'all back into slavery. Like the Rock used to say, can you smell where Yahweh Bashem Yahshua is cooking, man? You know? Because I can smell it, and it smells like destruction. Verse 13 says, behold, is it not of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and people shall weary themselves for very vanity. Shalaki, for very vanity, man. So people wear themselves for vain things, man. Right, that was the point was in 12. All right, this is 2 Samuel 4 and 11. Now we stacking up these charges on these so-called white people. This is 2 Samuel chapter 4, verse 11. It says, how much more when wicked men have slain a righteous person in his own house upon his bed Shall I not therefore now require his blood of your hand and take you away from the earth? So yeah, man. These Edomite, so-called white people, came over here, which you know that's you could say that at that time that was the Native Americans' house, man. And what they do, they came over here and murdered them, man. So guess what? Their blood is required too, man. All right, the blood of you so-called white people is required by the Lord, man. And guess what? He's going to get it when he destroyed this place with the thermonuclear missiles that your people created. But guess what? The Lord put that thought in their mind to do it. Because he know how proud you so-called white people are, man. Because the Lord gave you this society to run it for but a short time. And now your time is up. That's why you're seeing more and more Israelites come out here on the highways and byways to prophesy the downfall of this place, man. And soon you ain't going to see us out here. And once that happens, that's when all hell going to break loose, man. Why? Because the Lord is going to hide his men from evils. And a lot of evils are coming to this place. And Donald Trump knows that. I'm going to read that again. This is 2 Samuel chapter 4, verse 11. It says, how much more when wicked men, which are the so-called white men, have slain righteous persons, which are you Israelites, which have slain persons in his own house upon his bed, man. And doesn't the so-called white man still do that now with his military? Go over to Iraq, what they do? Come in there and try to take over those people's land. All right? They did the same thing to Gaddafi, man. Gaddafi. They did the same thing to Osama bin Laden. And those are heathens, man. But that's just his track record. So if he did that to them, what thinks that he didn't? What you niggas think that he ain't do? He ain't already do it to us? Which is written all throughout history, where they won't let you forget it, man. It's written all throughout history. Okay? Now check it out. It says, shall I not therefore now require his blood of your hand and take you away from the earth? So that's right. He said he's going to require their blood by our hand, man. And that's when all hell breaks loose. Once this economy collapses, you know, and this whole place is in disarray, and these cops are trying to protect their families, not you, which they don't even protect you anyway, man. When it's going to be every man for himself, and then you niggas are going to want to run and try to find a man of the Lord that was out here telling you that these things are coming, man. All right? But you Edomites, your blood is going to be required, man. That's the only way for y'all for forgiveness to be given. But you're not going to be forgiven. You're going to get put in slavery. Then after your 1,000 years of slavery, guess what? You're going to be completely annihilated. And that's you so-called white people's future, man. So you better party it up right now while you can, man. You know? You better party it up right now while you can. And our people that want to be like you, guess what? They going to die along with you. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 21, verse 16. It says, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death, man. So check, yo. So how you so-called Negroes get over here, man? You was over there in Western Africa because you ran to escape Roman persecution. All right? You ran to escape Roman persecution over there in Western Africa. So who came over there and stole your ass, man? Esau, aka the so-called white man. All right? So guess what's going to happen to him? He has to be put to death for doing that. All right? He hasn't got his recompense yet. That's coming, man. It says, I'm going to read that again. This is Exodus chapter 21, verse 12. Salak is 16. It says, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him. So what they did, they stole you from the western coast of Africa and brought you over here and sold you. All right? So it's a punishment for that, man. These Edomites got hell to pay, man. And this is all in the scriptures. These are not my words, man. I'm just explaining it to you. You niggas was over there in Western Africa, minding your business, and here comes these fucking Edomites, stole you, brought you to America because they kidnapped you, took you from that land, brought you to America and sold you. It says, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death, man. So guess what? The Most High gonna put you crackers to death, man. All right? That's your judgment. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 35 and 33. The book of Numbers, chapter 35, verse 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So there it goes right there. You so-called white people have to be put to death, man. That's the only way to cleanse this land. And yo, guess what? The only way to cleanse that land over there in Jerusalem, our land, you're gonna have to be put to death right there, and your blood is gonna hit the earth, man. This is Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are. That's right, because all you so-called white people do is pollute the land wherever you go, man. All right? With your goddamn nuclear asylums, your factories, building your cars, you pollute the air. The so-called white man is nothing but a destroyer, man. It says, so that ye pollute, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for the blood defiled the land, which y'all killed us, and our blood defiled the land. For blood defiled the land, and the blood cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So the ones doing all the bloodshed, going around killing everybody, they gotta be put to death. All right. I think that's how I'm ending on that, man. But yeah, so know that, man. Know that that's what's gonna happen to you so-called white people, man. All right? You're gonna be put to death. First of all, you're gonna die in America, and the ones that's left over, that's not in America, that got that little missile asylums and all that, America's gonna be completely destroyed. But the Lord knows where you Edomites going to hide, man. We're gonna be right there with the chains to take you right into slavery, man. So you Edomites, which are you so-called white people, for everything that you have done is gonna be done to you, man. All right? For everything that you've done is coming right back to you, man. It's called recompense. It's called righteous judgment. All right? Because the Lord ain't just going to have his people catching hell all these years and don't punish the ones that did the punishing, man. That would be unrighteous, man. All right? And with that, shalom.